Hey y'all, this is Pastor Billy, and I'm here with you today because we're digging into a week where we study Scripture. And part of the way we did that yesterday is you received a passage from Scripture, James chapter 1, verse 5, from a part of our team. And they got to show you what it looks like to put actions to a verse and to try to remember that. And a lot of times when we do that, we go, oh, look, it's for the kids. And the reality is that as adults, we oftentimes get the most out of the children's message because we do some things in the children's message that actually applies to all of humanity. We do some things that allows our brains to simplify and to take some things not just informationally in our head, but allowing it to travel 18 inches to permeate our heart. And so part of that is repetition. So this week, you're going to see a different person from our staff team share a way that they take Scripture and allow it to come into their minds and down and travel into their hearts to permeate their very being. And the reason that can be so powerful is because there may be a time when God sends you to a person in a place with a particular context of life, and as you've allowed Scripture to permeate your heart, you've put it in your toolbox so that it's ready for you to apply to their life and their circumstances, whatever age or stage they may find themselves in. So today we're going to read again in a way that I use to help me reflect on Scripture. I read Scripture and then I try to imagine between the lines some of the things that are being said in an unspoken kind of way, the context of the text itself, and then sometimes I apply that and write it out and kind of share it in more of a rhythmic kind of way. And so James chapter 1 verse 5 says this. I'll start it this way and then we'll transition into the way that I kind of recreated. Okay, so it says James 1:5 from the NIV. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. Now here's kind of the way that maybe a glimpse into Pastor Billy's mind and how it functions. And so here we go. James chapter 1 verse 5. If any of you lacks wisdom, the implication is that you do. You should ask God. Not Google, not YouTube, not social media, headlines, friends, Siri, or Alexa. Ask God. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously. That means abundantly, amply, lavishly, irrationally, prodigally, amply, bountifully, handsomely, free-heartedly, free-handedly, liberally, ungrudgingly, selflessly, charitably, and generously. Who gives generously. To all without finding fault. All means all, without prejudice, judgment, shame, or malice. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. James chapter 1, verse 5.